Go, people. Let's go, Jared. We're cheering you on, buddy. Hey, everybody, it's day 6. And you know what happened? The sandstorm, it finally passed. Boy, I would tell you what, I was itching and sneezing and having a runny nose going. It was just a mess. And I had to get a couple of those antihistamines, and I had a couple of other things and whatever, and get the cocaine, the good kind, really up there to really clear her out. And you know what? I feel 100 times better today. So let's go with that. That feels great. All right, day 6, people. How you doing? Welcome. Welcome. Little drum roll. Welcome to what we got going on today. First of all, let's check in real quick. How you doing? How am I doing? How you doing? Hey, how you doing? How you doing, huh? You doing okay? Check in with yourself. You got your passion? You got your fire stoked? You got the critical eye in the hole? Have you been good with your impulse control? Check on that, okay? We're trying to strengthen that muscle, okay? We're trying to keep that critical eye in the hole, except for when we want to pull them out, like our special secret weapon, our big 44 Magnum, boom, to make our process better, our product more quality. That's the secret right there. Perpetual energy machine. That critical eye is a perpetual energy machine. If you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, go watch some of my other videos. We covered it. We talked about it. We'll probably talk about it again, but we talked about it then. All right? And then finally, are you keeping your schedule tight? All right? Now, I've been trying to keep adding more and more stuff to my schedule. As a matter of fact, I got something coming up. I'm working on this Kitty City thing. And if you go ahead and look real quick on camera too, look at this. This is what I'm working on for Kitty City. Here's what we got right here, okay? Now, I got my main character right here. Then I got the cat. You know, a whole bunch of stuff going on in here, okay? Of course, he's grabbing some ass, because that's what we do around here, people. We grab some ass. Come on now. Get her done. Of course, this is Mersh. If you don't know Mersh, that's Mersh. That Mersh is just a vehicle, people. He's a vehicle. Now, I really got to liking Mersh on Nightwave because, you know, I'd be up late at night watching Nightwave, and he'd be up there with me just talking, you know, talking philosophy, talking life, talking, you know, the struggles that we all go through, especially as men, you know, and how we perceive life. And I really enjoyed it. And so that's why I thought he would be a great character for this comic that I wrote. It's about a guy who comes back to his hometown and tries to pick up the pieces of his life. Okay, it's shattered. Okay, hey, don't worry, his hometown's Miami. It's a lot. There's a lot of TNA, a lot of fun in it, a lot of action, as you could tell. He's got a big ass 357 Magnum Ranger revolver. Boom, because it looks badass. That's what we do around here. It looks badass. Anyway, I'm illustrating that, putting it together, getting that all going, and then I'm just going to put it up for free. I think I'm going to do it, like I said, every Friday. Going to do a happy hour with Ray, you know. Don't know exactly where I'm going to post it yet. Trying to get my website reworked. I might post it on a third-party site to get more audience. I don't know. We'll see. But it's a fun story that I've been wanting to get out for, I don't know, hell, I think I wrote it maybe 7 or 8 months ago. I got a whole bunch of other stories I wrote too, so don't worry, there ain't no shortage of stories. And I'm sure that everybody else and their grandma has a story too, right? But unlike everybody else and their grandma, the thing that fascinates me is human psychology. I fucking love it. Not just any human psychology. I love the both polar extremes, right? I love the creative, clean, pure, loving, good human psychology that we all had when we were children, you know? Then I love that fucking malicious, evil, twisted motherfucker that is evil. I love that shit too. And I love to understand why the hell is it like that? You know, why is that dirty dog so dirty? Right? Well, I remember there's a guy I know, and he would always steal stuff, you know, and he got to the point where he was making really good money in his career, And we're talking like 250, 260, somewhere around there, plus stock options. And I remember we went out drinking one time, and I had my girl with me, and he had his girl with him, and we went into this, we were along the beach, and we went into this shoe store, you know, and they had all kinds of knickknacks and whatever, and we walked out, and he had stolen a couple of bracelets. I just gave them to the girls, and I was like, well, I didn't even see you buy those. And he said, well, I didn't buy them. I lifted them. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you make so much money? You drive all the nice cars. You pick up all the tabs for complete strangers you don't even know at the bar just to be the man. And we're talking like $700 bar tabs out of nowhere. Just, I got everybody round for me on the house, round on the house from me, or whatever. You know, it's on me or whatever. And then he goes and he steals these like $30 little seashell bracelets to give to the girls. And I'm just like, bro, what the fuck, man? So that set me on a trek, you know, trying to understand what the hell am I dealing with. I used to think like you give good, you get good back. I used to think if you treat somebody kind, you get kindness back. I used to think that if I gave my best quality and dotted my I's and crossed my T's and I showed my loyalty, that's what I got reciprocated. Well, damn it, that ain't the truth. That ain't how life works. And it's not how that world out there works. I was working on a obsolete rule set. I was working on a misrepresented treasure map, you know? And I was going around and I didn't realize that it wasn't the treasure that I was going after, but it was the fact that I was a bus to transfer people who didn't want to run their own ship. And they were telling me the treasure's over there, and all they really wanted me to do was to ferry them over to this other island, ferry them over to this other continent. And I was the one doing the burden, doing the work, giving away my energy, giving away my resources for them. Fuck that shit. Don't let people do that to you. Don't let people steal. Don't be a part of that. But I tell you what, understand it. And then put it in your story. So it's a fucking banger of a story. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I can't stand is when somebody writes a story and they have bad guys or evil people, and they're not really bad or evil. You know, if you don't understand evil, don't write a story. Okay? Go write poetry or something, right? Go play a video game. If you wanna write a story, you gotta understand evil. Right? Because however much evil is only how good you can be, right? If I write a story where the most evil guy, you know, stubs his toe, well, the good guy ain't going to be much of anything. You got me? Now, if he's so twisted that he perverts a family and, you know, keeps them as slaves so that he can run off and do what he wants to do, and he steals their resources and destroys their life, and then he goes on to become famous and then completely disowns them in the process. Now that's a story to write about. That's some evil there to talk about. And the person who goes down to the pit and then rebirths themselves in order to come back up and fight that's a story I want to hear about. Okay? So anyway, enough of that. That's kind of what the Kitty City is going to be about, you know, and some other stories like that. That's what it's all about. Okay? And that's kind of what the redemption arc for old Mersh is all about in there. Love him or hate him, he's a fucking character. All right? And that's what we're dealing with here. Okay? Now, I want to jump real quick to something else I got. I got something in the mail, and I'm pumped about this. Okay? I've been waiting for this. And it's right here. Got a nice little wrapping paper even. And I can't even read the words. Pop me up in the corner if you would. Can't even read the words on there. You know what I'm saying? Look at this bad boy. Then we got a couple of these things, a couple of collateral, got a card, and if you wouldn't know it, it's from MATTIAS ADOLFSSON, okay? And he's a cartoonist over in Sweden, okay? And he wrote me a little thing. Love it, said thank you, Ray. Love it. Now we're gonna open it. I haven't even opened this. Look at this. This is his book. Look at this. This is some Swedish newspaper. I can't even read that. I'll probably keep it though. Isn't that cool? Now I don't even know what that says, but it's pretty cool. I like that. Now look at this book. Look at this. Isn't that cool? Wait, which way does it go? I don't know. But I'm so excited. Look how cool this looks, all right? And I'm just gonna open it right here in front of you guys. Go ahead and get this, let me get one of my pins right here, right quick. Poke a little hole in it. It's almost like it's my birthday or something. It ain't my birthday, people. But if you want to send me all kinds of business, you totally can. Say every day's my birthday, right? This counts as stoking the fire, people. This is stoking the fire. Now look at all these cool little illustrations in here. Okay, let's see what we got. Dust cover. Some fun little illustrations in here. This is the guy that makes all those crazy little illustrations, and they're fantastic. And they remind me so much of an imagination of Richard Scarry. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but he wrote like What Do People Do All Day? And Lowly, the Worm. And anyway, oh, we were just talking about pirate ships. Look at that pirate ship. How cool is that? Now that's what we're gonna do today on our heads. We're doing pirate heads today, people. So that's pretty cool. Look at that. Look at all that. He just has such fun illustrations. Oh, ravens! Ravens! Ravens up in the tree. That must be my tree. How about that? How cute is that? More tree. These are just a whole bunch of illustrations, so I can't wait. More ravens. Look at that. There's a couple of other birds up there, I think. How cool is that? Saxophones. Now I'm jumping through it pretty big. Now this is fantastic. Now, all kinds of, I don't know how many pages. This must be a million pages. Yep, that's it. 1,000,000 pages. That's how many pages it is. Look at that. Look at all those pages. This is fantastic. This is just, I could just sit down and look at this forever. Anyway, how cool is that? Anyway, I'll go through that a little bit later, but I wanted to share that with you guys. And this is kind of like what I got to stoke the fire from me. Look at that. And he sent it to me. How cool is that? Made the dust cover. Now, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to get him on as an interview. Okay? I've already talked to him. And he said he agreed to it. So I got to get my little interview thing straightened out. I got a little funny thing. We talked to CK the other night. It just didn't work, and I'm gonna try to. I got something coming in the mail to fix it. Then I got a whole bunch of interviews lined up, people, from people who are so damn interesting. Okay, CK. We got Ben again. We got to do MATTIAS ADOLFSSON. This guy right here with this. I can't wait to hear what he has to say. Okay, fantastic. Then I got Abby. She's over in Crete or Greece or somewhere. And she does all kinds of fantastic drawings. And so we're going to talk to her. Then we got some other people that I'm going to talk to. I'm really excited about. We're going to get James on here. He sent me another video. I got to play it. I didn't get a chance to download it yet. I got it on my phone. I just haven't put it on the computer to edit it up. And I want to hear what's going on in England. Don't you? Crazy stuff going on in England. So hopefully I can get that stuff fixed and set up today, and then I'll try to arrange something. And I just want to go live with it, you know, and I want to have you guys be able to talk to him and ask him questions and see what's going on. And I want y'all to be a part of it too if you want to be a part of it, you know what I mean? And really kind of, you know, nail down on some interesting people. And I want to hear from them, and I want to share it with everybody. And that just really gets me excited. Just like I want to, you know, I want to share this cool book with everybody, you know? Oh, there it is right there. How cool is that? And I love the colors. Look at that. Turquoise, yellow, rust. Those are the colors of the desert. Love it, love it, love it. Okay? Fucking love it. Now, I don't know if I even got any more time to talk about the preamble. We're running on 13 minutes, and I know if I go over, James is going to get on my ass. And we're going to talk about what we're going to do today. We're going to go ahead and put me up in the corner when we get a second. Now, we talked about doodles yesterday, okay, people? Cartoon doodles. So I thought it was only right to go ahead and do today. Today's going to be Pirate Day, okay? Now, today, I had already laid in my pirates, okay? I did the golden mean, if you could tell, the golden mean layout. I did a big one, a little bit, half, a little bit more, then this size, half, a little bit more than this size, half, a little bit more than this size, so on and so forth. So you got that nice golden mean. Whoop. that ratio, that Fibonacci sequence. Can you see it right there? How it goes like that? It makes that sound too. That's how it does it. All right. Now, I figured one of my favorite pirates is Pirate Dick. I love me some Pirate Dick. Okay, now that sounds a little crazy. Pause. We ain't going like that. But I love me the character of Pirate Dick, and this is Pirate Dick right here. Okay, he always says, "Oh hell no, oh hell no." He's got his pirate. He's got his parrot right there. And then we got his first mate Vito right here. First mate Vito. All right. Vito's asking, "How's my audio?" Because that's what he always says. "How's my damn audio?" And he's got his cat looking over. He's got his little sword, and he's got his anchor hat, because that's what he is. He's an anchor. How about that? Then we got Schizo Sean down here, okay? He says, "I have the map," because he knows where the treasure is, right? And he always finds the treasure. He's always managed to find where Vito hides his booty, all right? Then we got young Clipper right here, Riley, and he's saying, "Get my good side," all right? Then we got Mint up here, and she's the one with the camera. She's trying to get his good side. So that's what we got going on today. So I figured I already laid it in with my sketches, all right? I got my pencil right here. It's just my 2mm Staedtler pencil with a little bit of a cushion on there, because you know my fingers, they need a little cushion, all right? Then I'm gonna get my Sharpies right now. Boom, boom, got my big daddies, got my small guys. My small fries and my big daddies. My big daddies and my small fries, okay? That's how we do it. Boom, boom. Let's get a little sip and let's go, Jared. Let's go, Jared. All right, here we go. Going back in here. All right, now we're about to bang this out real quick, because I know James is watching my time, man. He's pocket watching on me, okay? So we're just gonna grab a Sharpie. We're gonna come in here. We're gonna start wherever you want to start at. All right, I'm gonna start with this eyebrow. Remember, simple shapes, that's how we do it. Now I'm gonna do his eye patch right here. Oop, this Sharpie's already running out of juice. I didn't throw them away the other day. I should have. All right, then we got this eyebrow right here. We got his shocked eyeball. He's like, "Oh my God." Oop. Got his nose. Just pay attention to what overlaps, and it helps if you make little sound effects when you're drawing, okay? Then we got his cheek right there. Got his cheek. Then we got his mustache. He's going, "Oh, hell no." Right? Got his mustache coming down like that. And we got his, little bit of that. What has he got? A headband? Yeah, he's got a headband right there. Hairband or something, right? And it goes down like so. And this one's almost out of ink too, so we're going to rotate that one around. You got his headband right there. Then we got his, oh hell no. Let's go ahead and outline that, okay? That's always fun to do. He's like, "Oh hell no. Oh hell no." And you know they're doing that Super Killer 2 review right now. Ethan and Dick. And I imagine there's a lot of this being said. "Oh hell no." And you got what's his name? Vito's probably in the chat. I'm sure Klippa's talking about it too, and Sean might be over there. That's always funny, man. You know what I mean? I love that kind of stuff. Just the drama. I love it when people are saying, "How come we have drama? Why can't we have no..." I'm like, bro, comic books and cartoons and media, it's all drama. Okay? A story is drama. If there's no drama in the story, guess what? I ain't listening to it, right? If there's no titties, I ain't listening to it, right? And I told somebody, I was like, man, stories are drama, right? And art is war. Art is war. Now I'm going to do his little skull up here. We're going to get after the skull action, right? He's mad. It's a mad skull, okay? Now, art is war. It's a war for the mind, okay? You're waging your war trying to impress. I'm not meaning like make somebody think you're cool or anything like that. You're trying to impress, like emboss. You're trying to press into your idea into the world, okay? And amongst everybody else. You see what I'm saying? So it is a war. And you're at war trying to impress your idea into other people, okay? You're trying to project your vision into other people in a warlike state, because the warlike state is what's going to get you eyeballs until you're big enough that you don't need to do that. You get me, people? Are you still with me? You still listening? Because that's the way it is. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and do this. Now, this is why I got the Big Daddy out, because, you know, there's a lot of black on here that we're going to have to go ahead and throw down into. Now, I do like how he has a little bit of fringe on the outside of his hat right there. Let's get his other eyeball. You can see all that. All right. All right, and then also Dick has a, be careful on the people that you draw. They do tend to have one or two things that really stands out on what they look like, okay? And one of the things on Dick is his teeth structure. He's got that front teeth structure that goes down just a little bit. So pay attention to these little things. And these little things are what's very interesting about when you're doing a cartoon, because we're just talking cartoons, we're not talking about anything else right now. When you do a cartoon, to really nail down a likeness, because nothing better than you can see it's a cartoon likeness. Cartoon likenesses are great because they're a cartoon, but they still kind of look like the person, and that's fantastic. And that takes a real talent to do, and so I really respect people who can do that. This is his hair. Okay, we're just putting his hair in there, right? Now let's go ahead and get that like so. Oh, hell no. Okay, go ahead and work on the, we're just doing simple shapes, people. Work on the parrot over here. And I'm correcting as I go too. There are certain things that I see and I'm like, oh, that doesn't look right, that doesn't overlap right, or that shape is too lopsided or one-sided or whatever. And I'm correcting as I go. Now here's his jacket's down here, right? And you can just add the three-dimensionality if you want. Like so. And there we go. We kind of have our outline of Pirate Dick. Let's put his hair right here. Okay. Now let's go over here to Vito. Wait, first before we do that, well, let's wait. We'll just go ahead and complete this bubble right there like that. And I'll just go over this line. I won't pay any attention to it when I'm inking, or I guess I'm markering right now with the Sharpie marker. Now I ain't worried too much about how straight or perfect or precise these lines are, because part of the characteristics of this cartoon is that it's hand-drawn. So the hand-drawn adds some character to it, makes it feel a certain way. And you're going to notice that more and more as AI becomes more and more prolific, that the hand-drawn stuff is going to become more and more important. And of course, I'm sure that AI will try to copy it at some point. No big deal. It doesn't matter. Somebody really smart once told me that they can always steal one of your ideas, but can they create ideas like you do, one after the other? Now, the concept there is, you've heard of the goose with the golden egg, haven't you? Have you heard of that? You guys, you know what I'm talking about? There's a goose that lays a golden egg, and you can steal the goose's egg, but you can never become the goose. So if you do become the goose and somebody steals your egg, you let them steal your egg, okay? Don't waste time going after the egg. Go make more eggs. And then the power of creating the eggs is what brings the attraction to you, because you can create so many eggs. And then people start to recognize that. And then they say, hey, we want this guy part of our team because he makes a whole bunch of eggs. You know, metaphorically speaking. You know, you don't want to make bad eggs. But all eggs are good, aren't they? If they're golden. So think about that. Let's go ahead and put in his beard. It looks like this one's a little bit running out of ink too, and that's okay. You know, when they run out of ink, they make a really good texture. And that good texture sometimes is kind of fun. Now, I got another one over here, so I don't want you guys to worry. Go ahead and put in his eyebrows like so. Go ahead and get his eyebrows in there. And let's go like that. I got one more right here. I got a couple others. Say, how's my audio? Now this is funny, you know, because he's always fucking up his audio. I almost thought, where's my compressor or something like that, but how's my audio? It's perfect. You know, when you're making a joke, you don't always want to say the most direct punchline because you want people to kind of work for it a little bit. And when they work for it a little bit, they tend to appreciate it more. So think about that if you're going to make a cartoon or a joke or something. Don't make the most obvious joke all the time, because you're robbing people of the ability to think that they're smart because they thought about it too. And then they cherish your joke more, or they cherish your cartoon more, because then they thought about it, you know. They thought it. Now that's a nice pin. Look at that. That's just his little sword down here, of course. You know, boop, 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 boop. And then you got to make those sounds too. It makes it better. His little arm. He's holding his little sword. Boop. A little darkness right there. All right, so Vito looks good right there. Okay. Then we're going to go down here to Sean. Oh, could you guys see that okay? I hope so. We're going to go down here to Sean. Of course, he's wearing this bunny hat. Pretty cute. And he's the bunny man. Go ahead and put that in there. Then put his nose in there. Sunglasses. Sunglasses. Now you're noticing I'm doing the adjusting of the shapes as I go. The second time around, you know, I already drew it once, remember. I'm drawing it twice. That's his mustache, his teeth. Comes down to his beard, his red beard. His cheek right there, and there we go. We got Sean. Okay. Now I thought about trying to squeeze in like he's holding the map, but you know what? That's just not enough space to squeeze that in. So I'm just gonna have him say I have the map. Now that's another big thing. You have to be very understanding of how you edit. Okay, you don't want to overwhelm the viewer with too many ideas at one time, because then it gets all jumbled. It doesn't break through easily. I remember I was trying to make a couple of images, and they had a whole bunch of lore to them, like a hat, hair, scissors, some other things, and you have to reduce the amount of themes that you have in an image. Like on this one right here with Clippa, I wanted to put his cape in there, but I think the cape would be too much for this small of a panel. So we're putting his mustache in there, put his bottom lip in there, his cheek, then his beard. And we kind of lucked out. Everybody here has a beard except for Mint. That's kind of cool because they're all pirates. See what I mean? There we go. We got Clippa right there. Okay. And he says, "Get my good side. Get my good side." Boop, 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 boop. There we go. Okay, so now we got Clippa right there. Okay, we're looking good. Now the last person we got to do is Mint, and then we got to put our blacks in with our Big Daddy Sharpie right here, which we're going to use. Now this one on Mint, I tried to make it a little bit sexy. She got her hat right there with her star on it. And the thing about Mint, she's always ride or die with Riley. You got to be very careful because this is very small to be using this very big tip on this Sharpie. Okay, so you have to really abstract the shapes, which means make them more general, so that they read correct. To really simplify them down a lot more. Now, the way I have her laying is she's laying right here. She's got her shoulder like so, her arm, and then her forearm coming towards you, and then she's holding the camera stick with her hand. Put her fingers in there like so, and it recedes back into her body, and then she got her other shoulder right there, and then behind her her torso is right here behind her. And then it leans back, and then she has a bathing suit. And of course, it's going to come up into her butt right here. So her butt is right there, the little heart shape of her butt, and then put the rest of the bottom of the bathing suit. Like so. So that's her butt right there. See how that works right there? I don't know if you guys can see that. But then we have the selfie stick coming up like this. We've got the phone that she's recording on. She's always recording on it. Got her. There we go. So then she's right there. Go ahead and put her chest area. Might have to adjust that a little bit. But that's her laying down in that panel right there. Okay, so we're only going to get one. Well, should we count this? We'll count this as a head. That's a head. 1, 2, that's a head. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So today we're going to do 8 heads. Okay. So now we're going to get the Big Daddy out. And we're going to go have some fun. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and put in some of our blacks. And this is going to save you so much time and make it look so good. Look at that rich, thick black that we're just fucking throwing down. Like, we don't even care. Look at that. How much fun is that? Now, it's okay if you leave some white poking through, because we can always come in with the other markers and add a bit of color, and that adds some nice variety, and it'll look really, really cool, and it will look really nice. Now, if that's a comic panel, we just did a whole page right there, people. We just did a whole comic page. Now we have to come in here, use the chisel part. All right, I gotta come back up here and just also use this opportunity to refine any shapes that you might need to refine with the black. And I'm using the very, very chisel tip of this big ass Big Daddy. We call him the Big Daddy around here. Get out the Big Daddy marker to try and get this done. Okay. You know, I gotta be very careful around here because I don't want to get rid of anything. Maybe I'll shrink her shoulder just a bit. Be very careful around the butt because you don't want to ruin that shape. It's very important. You can ruin other shapes, but don't ruin the butt shape. Okay? That nice little heart shape, that's what you want to keep right there. Alright? Then we got Clippa down here. Young Clippa. Riley. The superhero we all needed. The one we don't deserve, but the one fights for First Amendment free speech rights, wrongfully imprisoned, but he beat the rap and he's out for vengeance now. We love that. Great story arc, great drama. I mean, how can you not love drama? It's basically a comic book, okay? We're watching a real life comic book unfold. We got Sean, you know, showing up to Vito's house. He has the map. He knows where it is, people, okay? So we got that going on. Let's go ahead and throw in some blacks. You know, for the shirt or whatever. Let's go ahead and throw in a black for the hat. The hat's black. Be very careful unless you want to reshape. Can you guys see that okay? Yep. Unless you want to reshape the bones. Check that out. Boom. Now we're going to go ahead and have a good time. And leave some peeking through, okay? Because we'll go in here and we'll put in, I'll put in some marker, some alcohol marker or whatever. I just got another set of Uhuhu. Wait, how do they say it? Ohuhu or Ohuhu or Uhuhu or something like that. I put a link down below if you guys want to get a set. And they're really good alcohol markers, and they're pretty cheap. And they just got restocked. You know, that whole China thing where they were out of stock or whatever. And I can always come back in here later and clean up some of these shapes with the smaller marker. But we also need his eye patch to be black. This is his eye patch right here. Okay. So we'll go ahead and put the Big Daddy away. The Big Daddy came in handy. I fucking love the Big Daddy. We're going to jump back down here with the small guys. We're going to clean up this shape right here. Like so. Okay. And then what I have to do is I have to, which one of these was the new one? Not that one. Not that one. Where did I put that one? Anyway, we're going to go in here and we're going to put in Dick's beard. Now it's okay. His beard is kind of getting to be a little bit gray, isn't it? So we'll go ahead and be okay with that. And then we'll go ahead and do some of his hair too. And it's okay. Sometimes when it's going out like this, it makes a really nice gray when the pen is running out of ink. Okay. All right. Go ahead and get the underside of Vito's hat. A little shadow in there. Got Sean. All right, we're looking good. And there you go. Check that out. That's what we got. Okay. We got our, how many heads did we say we got? 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we got 8 heads done today. Okay, people? Oh, wait. I see one other place where I need to put some black in, so I'm going to pull the Big Daddy back out. See, always be looking. Always be looking. Okay, people? Now, if this was an entire comic panel, okay, we just lay down the rough inks, and we can add nicer inks to it. I mean, we can go forward and refine the inks if we want to. But we're running right at 30 minutes, and I talked for a good 15 minutes, didn't I? So we knocked a whole page out in 15 minutes. And so that's what we're gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do with Kitty City, and I'm gonna put a couple of them together, and every Friday I'm gonna release them. And hopefully I'm gonna do one a day with a couple of banger panels, okay, people? So we're gonna be excited about it. So I want you to be excited. I'm excited. I got a fucking fire book right here. Got a fire book. I'm gonna jump into this. This is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna look at that, and I'm gonna get him on a interview. We're gonna talk to the motherfucker, okay? And get your pirates done. Let's get out there. Let's have a good time. Let's go!